All right, look, let me give y'all some game here. The reason why none of your shit moving or working in a redemption movement because one, y'all don't study principles, y'all study process and procedures. Two, y'all listening to these TikTok gurus. I don't care if they had success or not, you still listening to people when you're gonna need to do the work yourself. And then three, none of you know how to express trust. They tell you that you have to be surety and things like that. And yeah, surety works, but you have to also be mindful of the system and the commercial system and who does it recognize as surety. The system or this commercial system only recognizes the ends lieges. So you have to use the ends lieges as the creditor, the debtor, the consumer, the customer. You see what I'm saying? The person in between to handle the transaction in itself, because the system doesn't identify sentient living human beings. It only deals with systems or businesses or entities, corporations or whatnot, right? Now that you guys fathom that, got that through your head, you must know how to express the trust. The position that the country or the state got you in is based on co-trustees or assistant to the trustee. Now that you know that, and you should be aware of that, you need to express the trust, because you as a representative agent or quote unquote surety, you're doing this on behalf of the beneficiary. Who is the beneficiary? The ens legis, the straw man. Sister Kavia is Latin for beneficiary. The beneficiary is literally a trust pulling from the other trust, the birth certificate, the foreign sider's trust, okay? This is where the value comes from out these instruments, for people thinking that it's coming out of thin air, for you vapor money theorists. But it's not. It's coming from trust. Now that you also being mindful that none of you is expressing trust correctly, once you get approval of these instruments, when they approve you for these instruments, you're not paying them to their order. So all these things I just explained are based on principles that you can read from the Uniform Commercial Code, trust law, tax law, and also learn some accounting, okay? Because this is how the system is operating. Those four laws essentially governing the whole system of economics, and until you grasp that concept, then you're not going to be able to do shit, change shit, or actually know what the fuck is going on, okay? And I'm telling you that from a perspective of me actually reading it, and I live this life, okay? I live this life. I'm not here to show anybody in the nature of flashy shit, because I already had the luxury of shit at a young age. You see what I'm saying? But I done lived this life, and I am living this life. I done had phone calls, I done talked to agents, I done talked to CEOs, bank managers, I done did the whole nine, to a point that I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I know how to operate under the radar, okay? Then also, last but not least, if y'all don't take this shit in consideration and to take 30 minutes a day, an hour a day to really process this information for yourself, then you really not going to get it, because you're spending or putting all your faith and time in other people. Then when it doesn't work, what happens? You blame that person for not getting the job done. You blame other people when you haven't held yourself accountable, or you showed yourself that you was responsible. All right? So again, this is just a message. You can take it how you want to take it, but I'm going to repeat it again. You guys don't learn principles enough. You're listening to these TikTok gurus, you know what I'm saying, because of their success stories, but you haven't made your success story of your own. Go do it for your own. Failure is the first step of success. You know what I'm saying? So go out there and fail first. You see what I mean? That way you can learn what not to do next time you try or you attempt this method. You see what I'm saying? Go out there and do this shit. The fuck. And then third, last but not least, learn how to express trust. I'm telling you, either as a grantor, as a settler, as a trustee, or as the beneficiary, or even as the administered agent or registered agent, learn how to express trust. You won't have to act as surety. You won't have to use all these other procedures. When you know how to get that promissory note, attach that promissory note with a security agreement where you're expressing your security interest in their property from that security agreement. You see what I'm saying? Then you're attaching it with a trust receipt to show that the transaction has already been tendered and paid. And then you're going to pay the instrument into their company's order. And it's also going to show a way of a deposit. And that way you gave them an instrument, you see what I'm saying, which is credit for them to use on the open market exchange. And on that instrument, it tells you that you can receive payments monthly.